Hi everyone, welcome back to the Velvet Lounge Life, and this evening we are going to dive back into our pre-Victorian and Victorian scrapbook, as you can see. So this is a continuation of a series that I started almost 3 weeks ago, maybe a month. And so what I decided to do is once every 3 to 4 weeks, continue with a tour of this lovely treasure-filled album. I mean, you guys, it is thick. She is, as I stated, look at how thick she is. I do not know how many pages are in here. I did not count them. I also don't know all of the contents because honestly, when I acquired her, I just quickly thumbed through her in less than 5 seconds because decision was made, and at a price of free, how could I complain? So I was like, yes, yes, and oh yes. And something else I would like to do is to thank everyone that supports this channel. You don't know how important it is to not only subscribe to the channel, but listen to the videos if you don't want to watch them. And also, commenting is like such a sweet little treat to me. I appreciate it so much, and I try my hardest to get back to every single person that leaves a comment of any type. It could be an emoji, or it could be actual words or numbers. It doesn't matter. Pictures. I will get back to you with some sort of comment that's relevant, of course, and or thankful, most likely both. And also thumbs up matter as well. So those I don't really, I mean, I think there is a way that I can see how many thumbs up I have, but YouTube looks at all of the things that I just mentioned. So for everyone that has done that, you know, watch the video, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up, comment, people who share, you are stunner #1 superstars. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate all of those actions. Someone had asked me about my address. It is always in the description of the video or on the about the channel screen, which is actually a tab, but it's always in the description of the video, so please take a look at that. So without further ado, let's get into this beauty. So continue tour. I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller, move that out of the way. Where did we leave off? We left off right here. See, I even bookmarked the page. So one of the issues with this album right off the bat, and we talked about this before, is the fact that, yes, it is an old album. If you were well over 200 to 300 years old, you would also have some issues, I'm pretty sure. And you would also be probably the oldest person alive. But she is still stocked, chalked, and the quality of the items inside are absolutely stunning. So here we have this gorgeous ad, which I probably, yep, ripped up the whole page. And in this one, you'll see that it is what I believe to be a cigar box. I'm trying to see if it says. It doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure this is from a cigar box. The funny thing about this, which makes it super unique and probably incredibly rare, is it says sample from, and it has the name and all of this other information. Also blank. So I think this is probably a sample of what could go inside of your cigar box. How cool is that? Never knew that was a thing. There's some old Christmas greetings here from George O. Sawyer. I assume I can't see, but these are probably some sort of postal card. I'm not really sure, but there's two of them with two different scenes. And on this page, ooh, I think this is still attached. Let's see. Yep, still attached. Yeah, if they're still attached, I am not ripping them out of the book, obviously. Actually, let's close up this laptop, and then I can let her lean a little bit. So how have you guys been? I know it's been a moment since I've put a video out there. I mean, honestly, part of it was because I wasn't sure if people were even interested anymore. Did anyone care? You know, I like sharing this information as far as ephemera, antiques, costume jewelry, silver, gold, junk journals, etc. But it is always nice to know that, you know, people actually appreciate it. And as I stated earlier, those are the ways you can do it. As what I stated earlier, there are other ways which you can see down in the description of the video. But we won't go over those. But yes, so I'm back, and I don't think I'm going anywhere anytime soon. So here, this is this little baby in its little high chair, and it has a little gingerbread looking man, or it could just be a weird doll, and it's, I believe it's a boy in a girl's dress, and it says fit penny bit, the writing tablet. So something to do with writing, and an advertisement that when I look at it, I would never think that. But it's really cute. And then right next door, you have his little sister looking a little weird in the eye sockets. But that is how people were drawn back then. And then down here, we have another sample label with a squirrel holding what appears to be like an almond more than a walnut, which I think is what it was supposed to signify. Then on this page, look at that. What kind of advertisement is this? With this weird looking boy, and it says 3 for 1 cent. And some sort of an accurate barometer. Wow. I don't know what to tell you about that, but I love the image. I love his disturbed looking face. I really do. I think like the weirder some of these ads are, the better, because you just sit there wondering what was the artist thinking. And another weird one is what I consider to be like a hole in the wall, even though the hole appears to be in stone. And there's these two men that are trying to crawl through this hole in the wall. And it says house in a rock in some sort of canyon in prehistoric America. And then there you have I pipe ye something or other. I don't know what the other words are. And it appears to be a grasshopper doing his thing. And you have other really, like these two silhouette ads, really nice quality. And here's another one that you're going to think is amazing quality as well. It's this one right here. And once again, it's another sample label. So how interesting that whoever owned this previously had access to so many sample labels. I think that is incredibly interesting, and I would love to know more. So if you know any more about sample labels, please obviously comment down below. Like I said, there's a plethora of them in here. I wonder if any were ever, you know, purchased and used. And here we have some gorgeous horses. And there's a little trade card. What are these called? Cigarette cards here. These two ladies whispering. And then we have some more very early cigarette cards here. And then you have some bovine. Santa. Well, I don't know if it's Santa, but this dude totally reminds me of Santa. And it says Ridge Food. So that's a Ridge Food ad. What I don't like is this poor little animal that died, and they're like stepping all over his fur now. And you have some other random ads here as well. Here's a cute one for Wistar's Balsam of Wild Cherry. Yum. And how about the Lone Fisherman? Why is he so sad? He's right there. So interesting. Oh, and I see the black and white one up there, which is 2 black furred kitties and 1 white one. Okay, so I want to prepare you. Please, if you are afraid of creepy things, this might creep you out a little bit. It's coming up in just a second, so we'll ease you into it with this Statue of Liberty large print ad here. It says copyright 1889, I think it says. 1869, New York. Look at these embossed sleeves. They're embossed. They're like little cards. And then someone did a little cutout here with the black and white. I am preparing. Okay, this to me very standard. What is this for? Oh, not very standard. You flip it to the other side and you can get some information and find out it's some sort of bovine elixir for people that might have insufficiencies. It even says bovine on the bottle, which is funny. Now, are you ready? You ready? Here we go. Here we go. There you are. There you are. Okay, I eased you into it. I eased you into it. This is one of the oldest, creepiest babies I think I've ever seen. I think that's his grandpa's face. And someone wanted to remember him as being a baby. But it says peekaboo, peekaboo. And it says hold to the insight. I don't know what that means. But you flip this over and there are his eyes. I know. Isn't that the weirdest thing? And this is supposed, according to the back, it says, my little one, only 2 months old, was a mere skeleton. We put him on Millen's food, and it's wonderful to see the change that it has wrought. No one speaks like that anymore, the wrath part. But isn't that creepy, weird as heck? And then you have this little girl here. And I love this frog. Try frog chasers. Can I flip this one over? No. And so something I have been considering is removing these from this book. Because the book itself is in such dire straits. Not to be confused with the awesome 1980s band. I've looked into several types of elixirs one could use to remove these, but I'm still undecided. So whatever your opinions are, I would love desperately to hear them. So please note them down in the comments. And also tell me, what is your favorite thing that you've seen so far today from this book? So here we have, once again, a gorgeous city street scene in New York City. I believe it says 1869. This is what Wall Street was back then. Doesn't look anything like that in my lifetime. I don't remember. Here we have these 2 cute little kids. And what the person who initially owned this did is for some of these, they only pasted in the corner so that you could flip these over. There must be a history about putting the eyes on the backs of sleeping cards. So if you guys know anything about that, once again, I would love to hear what you think. I bet you this one has eyes on the back of it. Let's flip it over. Stafford's Inks and see what it says and what it shows. yes, there's eyes on the back. So that is definitely a thing. I don't know why or, you know, what the purpose was. And then this card is underneath. And this was for cough, colds, and consumption. So you can kind of date these by what they're talking about. Like, when was the last time someone used the word consumption to describe an illness? And also this 1869, we're talking consumption. Like I said, there are ways to date some of the pages in here. And here we have this cute little girl advertising a German cologne. There's some other bits and bobs here also that I didn't necessarily go over, but I'm trying to go over what I think are the most significant. And what is this? This one is, I think this one says 1889. Trinity Church, which is in New York. And then here we have a grouping of 5 cigarette cards. So these would have been in your packs of tobacco. Not the wacky tobacco, but just regular tobacco. And they would put these inside of, you know, just so that people would collect them. They had so many themes, you guys. Hundreds of different themes, from sports to nature to, these are probably actresses of the stage back in that day, and their names are there, including their nicknames. And then here we have an image that's also, I believe, of somewhere in New York. Yes, it says it's New York. Here at the bottom, I don't recognize that building. And over here, we have another gorgeous big card. And once again, some of those cigarette cards that I talked about. And look at all of these that are here in the center. These are circular and they are cigarette cards. This one, I'm not sure what it is. And these are actual little photographs of whoever these people are. Look at this one. Oh, you can't see that one, sorry. Look at this one of this lady. Her waist is a size 12 inches. She's caught a fish. She's wearing what we would term as a cap. And yeah, she has nothing on her arms. Her ankles are showing. And it says flying fish. I don't know what that means, but sometimes these cards were, you know, sort of cartoony, a little bit comedic. And here you have another late, so that was obviously a theme for these, this particular set of cigarette cards. This one says Blennies. I don't know what that means, but once again, tiny waisted lady, giant head, really nice hat. I love that topper. And once again, she's also caught a fish. And then down here, we have an older version of some sort of card. I'm not sure what this is from. And then there was a lot of negative advertising, you know, that wasn't kind to people of non-Caucasian colors. This is a Brazilian person, and it had, I think this is selling, yep, coffee. This one says coffee, but this looks like a cigarette card. So I'm not really sure about what they were trying to accomplish with that one. And then this page, we also have some gorgeous cards. And, oops, bigger, and go here to the top. Another giant scene card, but right in the center is really what I'm concentrating on. And these say, they have like a bunch of, all these words are different in the corners because they're the names of the various ships that you see. So having ships, eventually they would have cars. You can't really see it. There's writing on the back of these as well. And then if we come over here, look at the center of this page. This is really pretty cool. I love these two. because they're like cutouts, but of course they have these gorgeous images in the center of them. And we have this one right here, which says Neapolitan. And she's obviously also Neapolitan. Has a giant, what do they call these things? Like when you're trying to see the future, in front of her. And then once again, two big scenery cards. One at the top of the page and this one here at the bottom, which I love because I love the colors. I like the action in it, the stuff coming out of the smokestack. And that's New York as well. Both of those are somewhere in New York. There's some more words on here. It says Union Rogue Club. Oh, that's telling you what the building is, of course. And we're going to cheat. I will go back to this other page, but look at this. That is why I am like so trying to figure out what to do with this book. Find images like this, like they just don't exist, you guys. This is original, real, antique ephemera. Nothing that's been reprinted, nothing that is a facsimile or, you know, a sticker of, but the real deal, holy feel. So you have this, which it's like the shell of a giant mollusk. You open it up and you have these two gorgeous ladies inside, and they have these little words here advertising, you know, tobacco, because was the tin in this shape? I don't know. Or is this what the tobacco looked like? Because this says red tin bag tobacco, but this is what I believe the tobacco really is. But the hinge of this shell is being held together with a little tobacco. And there are some like little medallion photos here. I don't know who these people are, of course. But then if we come up to the top, we have again another gorgeous array of trade cards. There's, as you can see, horses were a theme, people doing things, which could be just doing any old thing, was a theme. Once again, we get a little comic relief. They call him the Vulture, and if you look at his shadow, it's in the shape of a vulture. Playing cards, yes, that's a theme. This would have been a calling card. So when you visited someone, or they visited you, they would leave a calling card, and that way you would have record of who visited. And sometimes there would be a little note on the back. Many times it was simply their name, and they usually did have some sort of decorative flourish on the front of it, because obviously the more decorative, usually that meant the more prestigious the family was, aka wealthy. And this will be the last page that we go over tonight. This one has soaping, the dirt killer. It will not injure hands or fabric, but they killed lots of whales in order to produce this product. Thankfully, whaling is no longer legal here in New England. And then you have this really, it says soaping ad here, spelled out with the laundry and the lady working really hard. And so apparently this family used soapine. And then we have other ads. It seems like this is like a page kind of dedicated to a variety of things. The top of it, you know, they're talking about hats and clothing. This talks about a tablet and ticket. I don't know what that means. Something for gumming letters. So it must be a glue. I am obsessed with this bit right here, the boot. Love it, love it, love it. And that's out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. You could tell because it actually says so on the bottom. And that's something else with a lot of these, is they do tell you where they originate from, which is pretty cool. Love that image, so cool. And there's lots of what I call like little medallion pieces, because they're you could see my finger, so you can see that they're smaller. This one is a horseshoe. There's another horseshoe on the opposite side, a little kitty cat right there. And let's go down to the bottom. Do you know what Vaseline is? I put Vaseline, been in existence very long time. It was a remedy for numerous things, but guess what? It also came in liquid form. So there it is in liquid form. And then look at these ads, you guys. You know exactly what these people sell. Another stunner right here. And here is its superstar companion. And he, you know, selling hats and clothing and such, furnitures to gents. So cool. But, and what is this? This one is toilet, pomade, Vaseline, Vaseline cold. Oh, so this is giving you a list of all of the Vaseline products that they sold at the time in this advertising bottle. So we will go, you know what? Let me give you a bonus page. We're going to do a bonus page because then we can end it evenly. But here we have Balm of Tulips. So yes, they did know what was what, so you had to try what you could, and tulips apparently were part of a medicinal treatment for cold sores. Never heard of that before in my life. Thankfully I don't have to indulge because I don't have that affliction. But here is another painkiller, unfortunately, for babies. And back in the day, they did use things such as heroin, cocaine, morphine. They had no idea that these, you know, were addictive type of elements. And it was very common to be doped up. And you just did not know it because you thought you were giving them the best that you could. And here we have one, it's some sort of emulsion. It says so right in the middle, claiming that the child wants it. He probably does not. Once again, some gorgeous little, especially these two medallions, some right here. This one in the shape of a leaf. It's a grocer. And then we have Fioni caffeine. So supposedly it's another quack cure, even though they did say that caffeine is good if you have a headache, that it would help relieve it. So I believe there's some truth probably in this one. And there we have this St. Jacob's oil for sprains. If you have a sprain, I don't think you just want to put oil on it, but look at that ad. It's all in its full regalia with the hunting dogs, the beautiful horses, the woman on side saddle, the man dressed to the T from topper to his little boots, and this gorgeous scenery that's all around it in the background. And it says something about being out of Baltimore. So that's what we're going to look at for the day, you guys, and relish and think about these advertisements. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. A thumbs up is always respected and thankful. I'm thankful for that. And also, if you can answer any of the questions I asked throughout the video, that would be amazing. I would really appreciate it. Be well. Check out the description of the video for a lot more useful information, free discounts, and more. Look, we're part of the book now.